Meeting on January the 16th, 2024. I will now call on Will Short, Regional Clerk, to conduct the roll call. Will.
Thank you, Chair Harris. Chair Redmond.
Present.
Councillor Craig. Councillor Deutschmann.
Here.
Councillor Erb. Councillor Foxton.
Present.
Councillor Harris.
Present.
Councillor Hunig.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Councillor James.
Present.
Councillor Liggett. Councillor McCabe. Councillor Nowak. He's here. Councillor Solonen.
Present.
Councillor Shantz.
Present.
Councillor Ivanovic. Councillor Williams.
Here.
And Councillor Wolf.
Present.
Thank you, Chair.
Excellent. Thank you. I would like to.
I'm here as well. I'm here as well.
We got you. Yep. I would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gathered today is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Chinantan peoples. We acknowledge the enduring presence of the Indigenous people with whom we share this land today, their achievements and their contributions to our community. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Okay, seeing none, there are no presentations. There are no delegations. We are on to the consent agenda, item number 6. If you wish to remove an item from the consent agenda, please indicate so now.
Chair Harris.
Yes.
I need to remove 6.1.1, the accessibility report update.
Okay, we will pull that out. Are there any other consent agenda items that would like to also be pulled out? Seeing none, can we have a mover and a seconder to approve the consent agenda? Councillor Erb and Councillor James, please use your yes or no button to vote on the consent reports. Councillor Liggett, don't want to make any assumptions, but do you support the consent reports? Okay, 6.11 accessibility status report. Councillor Hunig, questions?
Well, a comment and then a possible recommendation to staff and councillors. So I want to acknowledge that staff and councillors and the GRAC committee did a lot of work to make sure that these goals were in alignment with the AODA and even better than the AODA in many respects. So with that, I'm very happy. There was one piece of the report that spoke to public engagement. And in that, it was noted that GRAC members were consulted, which I think is great. But I'm wondering, with future accessibility status report updates, would it be possible to consult other disability supports service organizations throughout the community so that it's a more broad cross-section of people with disabilities throughout the community? And I'm looking to staff as well as chair for that.
Kim, yep, go ahead, Kim.
Great question. Thank you very much, Councillor Hunig. Absolutely. Let's take that back and think about who we may be able to consult with further than we already are doing. So thank you for that recommendation.
Great. Thanks.
Councillor Deutschmann.
Thank you, Chair Harris. I just had a couple questions. First off, with the AODA, is there timelines to be in like a full compliance or anything like that? And if there is, are we on our way to doing that? It just seems like other organizations, I don't know if people have been giving the proper attention to the issues that arise under this legislation. And I just have this general sense that not our organization, but, and you can provide me more information, but that there are organizations that are not giving proper attention to the requirements under this legislation.
Thank you for that question. And through you, Chair, by 2025, the province was hoping to be able to do what they say is to make Ontario barrier-free. That work has been underway since the legislation was passed in 2005. I would suggest to you that most organizations have done tremendous work, and ourselves included, to be able to enhance accessibility, etc. But I'm not so sure anyone in this province that is going to be able to fully achieve make Ontario barrier-free. And we are starting to see articles in the paper, as well as, obviously having conversations about that gap, because I think every business is going to struggle to achieve that goal at this particular time.
The second question I had was, as I was reading through the report, I saw, there's a reference to GRAC Kitchen Waterloo, and then there's a reference to GRAC Cambridge. I may not have that exactly correct. Can you speak to, are we consulting the whole region, part of the region? What's going on with the fact that there's these two different organizations, and how are they working within the regional review?
So we have the GRAC group is the two cities in most, if I'm not mistaken, all the townships. The city of Cambridge has opted to create its own GRAC, but we obviously keep each other apprised. But they have their own GRAC, and that's why you see the differentiation.
So I'm just wondering, though, if we're consulting with the GRAC, who are we consulting with for Cambridge then, for our facilities in Cambridge?
I'm going to ask my colleague if Jennifer, can you respond to that, please?
Okay, through the chair. Yeah. So the Accessibility Advisory Committee in Cambridge does get consulted when there are specific projects to Cambridge. That is something that our regional staff do.
Okay, Councillor McCabe, please.
Thank
Oh, no,
you.
sorry. Do you mind if I come back to you?
Sure.
Okay, Councillor McCabe.
Okay, thank you. Through you, Chair. Just, I guess a quick question. Do we include in our advocacy work, advocacy or around asking the province for either additional funding or for the province to meet their requirements under AODA and to make Ontario barrier-free?
Ken, if you want to address that answer.
Yes. It's a great question. Thank you for that question. I'm not sure if we advocate specifically to the Ministry of Citizenship and Senior Services, who's accountable for the AODA legislation right now. Let me take that back, and I can respond later.
Councillor Foxton.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. I know when I sat on GRAC, some of the members also sat or involved with Cambridge. Like Paula was, she usually do the designs she would go and evaluate the designs for the buildings we were building and that and check them. And she would be involved with both. And also at AMO and Roma, I've also talked to some of the staff in regards to accessibility. So the door is open for communication with the ministry.
Councillor Hunick.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Bellissimo and Councillor Deutschman both hit on a major problem, which is that Ontario is not fully accessible and will not be fully accessible by 2025. I can attest to the fact that Waterloo region is doing better than many municipalities across the province, but I think we do need to do more advocacy to the Minister of Accessibility and Seniors to ensure that there are provisions in place to help municipalities actually meet and exceed standards of the AODA.
Okay, I don't have any further speakers to that, so thank you. That is the end of the consent items. We will need to move that report item 611. Is there a mover and a seconder on that? Councillor Hunick and seconded by Councillor Williams. Please vote. Okay, and that is carried. Thank you, everybody. Council committee tracking list received for information. Is there any other business, colleagues? Seeing none, our next meeting will be on February the 6th, 2024. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Hunick, seconded by Councillor McCabe. Please vote.
My vote isn't working again, so I'm voting affirmative.
You're a yes on that? We'll change that.
Yeah.
We'll change that vote. And that's carried, everybody. Good afternoon.